Why do you think that Dig beat TSM twice but got thumped by Sentinels and Cloud9? Well, that's a good segue into this talk. Why do you think Dig beat TSM twice but got thumped by Sentinels and Cloud9? I think that Dignitas did a lot of things really well that I kind of wanted to exemplify. And that's pretty much going to be our whole talk for today. Just talking about Dignitas, talking about the way that they played versus TSM and some of the flaws that they had. I think that Dig, the reason that they beat TSM, it looked like when I was watching them, they were very studied on TSM. It looked like they spent a lot of time watching TSM's gameplay, rightfully so. They were going to be playing them the first round. It seemed like they kind of went into that match very prepared to go against TSM. Dig's not a bad team. They're not even a bad team when they were playing against Cloud9. They weren't a bad team when they were playing against Sentinels. All those players on that team are incredibly talented. They are. We witnessed this watching them play TSM. Shanks is incredibly good. Supamen's incredibly good. Salma's incredibly good. Dephh is incredibly good. They're all very good players, right? And in that first series versus TSM, they were really showing up. I think Dephh and Shanks were two of the best performing players of the day, and which is like it really speaks. Like they're good players. That being said, they make a lot of weird mistakes throughout pretty much all of their series that they played, and I wanted to kind of go through and exemplify the rounds that I think that they did very well versus TSM, and where like their studying and like their preparation for the game really showed. But then I also wanted to comment on some of the rounds where I feel like they kind of struggled a little bit. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, if I do end up uploading this to YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel down below. I do a lot of this kinds of stuff. A lot of talking about games, a lot of showing games, and little guides and stuff. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel. I freaking love you guys. Otherwise, yeah, we're gonna roll into it. So I just kind of wanted to start out by showing off the rounds where I feel like TSM actually like did the research and they kind of knew what they were doing. So this first round is going to be going into it's going to be 8-2 for Dignitas. They did very well this first round versus TSM. They actually beat TSM. I think they played 5 games. They went 4-1. They won both of the series pretty handedly versus TSM, but then they got crushed versus other teams. And what I kind of wanted to show is the way that they played this round. They actually did a full C-stack site. There was something that happened, something in this game that made Dignitas think that this was going to be a C push, despite the fact that they have people over here on A. And I really wanted to kind of just show off how they didn't panic when they were doing this stack. They kind of just took they took this plan. They're like, we're going to stack C, and we're going to roll with it. And even when the Sova Dart comes in on A, they droned it on A. He has this cam here. They don't panic. They still stick it. They say, hey, if they're going to plant A, we're going to play for retakes. I think this is something that a lot of players struggle with. Obviously, in solo queue, you're not going to be able to do your homework and like study teams that you're going to play against. But you can do little mix-ups like this where you stack a site and just play patiently. They're just going to play. If the bomb goes down in A, they're going to play for retake. That is their plan. Rather than panicking, rotating a player off a C, they're like, we're going to stick this play right here. We're going to wait for them to push it. And you're going to see as TSM starts to make their way in here, they're going to be walking into a 3-stack site. This is not looking good for TSM. They killed 1 at site. It's looking good. And then they realize, oh shit, there's still 2 on site. This is pretty bad. And notice they don't get overly aggressive right here, right? A lot of the times when you get in situations like this, the players want to like swing around and finish off the cypher right there. He could have easily tried to swing. They know where he is, right? They're not getting over aggressive. They're not overextending. They're going to play behind here. They're just going to deal with the cypher, playing it calm, staying behind cover. They're going to clear him out. Wonderful round by Dig. You could just tell that they did the research, right? They're going to stick the site. They had something that told them that they were going to push C. They're feeling good after they get that pick in the garage. Maybe it was the aggressive garage play. Maybe it was the cam. But they felt good about this play. They stuck it. And I really respect that. I think that this was a good play by Dig. And that's not the only time. That one's maybe a little bit less obvious. But I think that this one is one that this was the moment that I was like, oh shit, Dig is like, they were prepared for this game, right? If you've watched any of TSM before, you've seen them do this. They love to do this double push-up short. I've started to do this in my own play. I think it works out really well when you just get your buddy and you're like, hey, buddy, we're going to push this, right? Supamen is holding this really obscure off angle. I don't think there's any other reason that he would have held this other than the fact that he's seen TSM do this in VODs, and he thinks that they might actually push it right here. He's holding this obscure off angle, gets the double kill right there. He just had a feeling they were going to push up here. He had some sort of feeling that they would do this. They end up doing it. He gets the double kill. It's going to be an easy round for them, as they actually not as easy as you think. This round's actually going to end up with Shanks just clutching it out. But just phenomenal like guess play. They have watched TSM play. They know what's going on in this game. It's very heads up. They know what they're doing. They're going to take this round, and you could just tell that Dig was prepared for this. And it's going to be exemplified even more. That's just the Haven map, right? It's not just on Haven that they knew what they were doing. I love this play that they did on Bind, and I think that this is the one that I really wanted to emphasize when I went into this. They did this twice throughout the game.
Yeah.
Basically, what they did is they utilized Brimstone's ulti to punish this double showers play that they were doing right here. I haven't particularly watched a ton of TSM on bind, actually. I don't know if they generally play 2 in showers, but throughout the course of this game, they were doubling up in showers quite a bit. And this is when Dig really started to punish them. They did this twice throughout this game. This is going to be on the end of the half. This will be the last round before half. Look at this Sage slow that they set this up. I'm going to rewind this just so you can see this. Sage is going to throw this slow at the very beginning of the round. That's going to be poised. He's going to throw this slow right here. And then they're going to Brimstone ulti it after that Sovid recon comes in. Oh my god, dude. This is nuts. That was such a cool play. And they were just prepared for it, dude. They anticipated the push and showers. They've been doubling up a lot right there. They hit him with this play once before. They're going to do it again. It's going to get both of these players down to 10 health. Now, this isn't the end of it. Didn't kill them. However, there's no Sage on TSM's side. So both of these players are going to be chilling on 10 HP. Rather than pushing A site where they know that both of these players are playing, there's a little bit of a stack right now on A. That ulti probably pulled some attention. Maybe it pulled a player, right? They're actually going to double back towards B. They have Dephh right over here on B. He's holding it down. He's in hookah. Doesn't see anything. He's just like watching, right? If they push A, what could happen is that these players with 10 HP they could be hiding in a corner, find some sort of a pick, able to get a trade. That 10 HP is not going to be as big of a deal. Round's a lot closer. Instead, what they want to do is they want to make those players come to the fight on B. So they're going to go over to B, and they're going to be playing for right here. For the record, there's no way that they actually could have known that they got both of ththese players down to 10 HP, but they had a pretty good feeling. I'm sure that they were tagged like a little bit based off of the recon dart and everything. They're going to be pushing in here, though. They're going to take the B site. There's no way that Hayes and Jordan are going to be coming out to this site. It's just not going to happen. They're not going to make their way back on site with 10 HP. This is the last round. They have to try, but as soon as they try to enter here, they're just going to get tagged, dude. They're going to be killed pretty much right away. I think that this is an excellent play. I think that this really shows that Dig, they have strats, right? Their strats are good. Dig like knows what they're doing. They've done their research on this. Like, they're a very strong team. That being said, although Dig is a very strong team, like I said, they do struggle quite a bit. And I was gonna take this round right here just to kind of show this is gonna be from the game versus Cloud9. And everyone's seen this play probably by now. This is a really good 3K by 10s. And although there's no way for Dig to know exactly that 10s would be here, what I would argue that Dig really messed up right here, they're down 5-1. They're starting to play a little bit more timid. They don't exactly know how to bring this game back. It feels like they're playing from behind. It seems like they get a little bit stressed out and they don't really know what to do. And they're giving Cloud9 a lot of room to work with. They're giving them a lot of room. They don't have window control. They're waiting on this play. They have Dephh pushing up long right here, but like nobody's over here by C creating presence. They're kind of just letting 10s push up, right? And although, of course, there's no way that they could have known that he was in window right here, they probably should have. They need to take more control, right? When you give Cloud9 this much time to just get settled, take map control, they have 10s in this window now at this point. They can go triple stack A if they're doing an A play or something like that. They have the tripwire over on C. It just feels like you're kind of asking for things like this to happen, dude. Like when you're playing this slow and you're giving them this much map control, you're letting them take control of the game, right? And it's not just like this that is like the reason. Like, I'm not just looking at this play and being like, this is why Dignitas sucks or anything. It's not like I'm trying to do that right now, right? But there's a lot of other times where I'm just like, Dig, what are you doing, homie? So basically one of the issues, like I was talking about right there, they don't seem to want to take map control a lot of the times. They would do these pushes where they would kind of all be together. And something that they really love to do is they would love to do this A push. They would group up, they would all push A, they would take control of the A site, and then they would lose to some sort of retake coming in from Cloud9 or Sentinels or TSM even at the time. And it's just like, yeah, it's cool that you could take site, but they really struggled to hold it. And I feel like part of the reason that they probably struggled to hold that is because they're not taking map control beforehand. They're not getting any picks on any side of the map to like react to. They're not baiting out utility on different parts of the map. They're not really keeping them on their toes. So I'm just gonna kind of show this round. There's something that happens later in this round that I feel like is a big mistake too, a big blunder that I feel like it's worth commenting. But look at this. They're gonna be doing a 5-man push on A. They have Dephh over here. He's kind of lurking in spawn. He's basically just making sure that nobody flanks, and he's actually gonna get a kill doing this, which is like it's decent, but for the most part, it just doesn't feel like enough, right? They have the A control. Notice how Cloud9's just giving them A. If they want to push A, they can go take it. We'll play for the retake. They're comfortable with that. They're comfortable with the retake. This is something that you see with a lot of pro teams, by the way, that you don't see from a lot of lesser teams or matchmaking teams. Just being comfortable playing for the retake. They're like, okay, we have utility on the site. We'll have the information if they're going for it. We're just gonna play for retake. We'll be good with it. We're organized. We've done retakes before. We practice our retakes. We feel good with it. In matchmaking, obviously, you can't practice your retakes with your teams. Teams tend to struggle, especially at lower ranks with retakes. Using a lot of utility to get on the site. They do end up taking the site, and I already missed the arrow right here, right? What you're gonna see is Mitch is gonna be holding this angle. There's nobody on A site. They're playing for retake, like I said. Psalm's gonna do like a really weird jump peek. I couldn't tell you why. Couldn't tell you why he did that. Rather than waiting for this wall to come down, Psalm, I guess he's trying to get the info or something. He's going to try to jump across. This pick is like kind of a big deal, honestly. When he goes down there, he just didn't need to, right? They're going to wall this anyway. It's not exactly like obscure that they're going to be retaking for this position. This was one time that I was like, I don't know why they did that or why he did that. It's just like very, very weird. And Dig makes a lot of mistakes like this. It's not just like this one moment where you're like, hey, that was odd. I don't know why Psalm did that. It's kind of just like, I don't know why Dig does this often, right? It's not just that one play. I'm going to show you another play. It's not just that one time. For the record, I'm not just hating on Dig because like I'm like a hater. I actually really like Dig. I was cheering for Dig this entire tournament. I really wanted them to win this out. I like the players. I like watching them. I think they're a fun time. I think they just need to improve some of these things, and that's why I think it's worth commenting on. Where it's just like, if you're wondering where they went wrong, I feel like this is part of the reason why they go wrong. They do things like this frequently. So Deph's going to be playing over here in Garage, and you're going to see a wall come in from Sabrosa. Now, Dephh has a tripwire actually on the box. You can't see it in the spectator, but you can see it up here in the corner. He has a tripwire on this box. Sabrosa's going to shoot that tripwire. When this tripwire goes down, this is the information that he has. Somebody's right here. He has that info. There's a wall in between him. He holds this angle. I don't really know why. I'm not a pro player, obviously. Dephh absolutely should have backed up here. Hindsight's 2020. I can see tracers and he can't. I know. I understand this. He should have backed up right here. When this tripwire goes down, no reason he should be holding this angle. Sabrosa is going to sneak up right behind him, and he just shoots him in the back, dude. Dephh, what are you doing, homie? It's like little things like that where I'm like, homie, what are you doing? Like, and like I said, it's not just those two plays. It happens again and again and again, right? There's a time where Wardell ends up clutching, and we'll talk about that later in a different video. But for the most part, I think Dignitas is a really good team. I think they have the potential for it. I think that they did their research, and their executes are actually like really good. Like when they're making a play, it's like it's really cool to watch. They understand it. They're able to read the defense. They're able to read the offense, and they're able to play around it. And I think they did a very good job versus TSM. I'd really like to see them kind of fix out some of these kinks, work together just a little bit better as a team. And I think that they could definitely be a good competitor within this scene. You have teams like the NA scene, by the way, is really good right now. It is like really good. All of the teams are pretty freaking solid. Envy's pretty solid. Gen G's pretty solid. Cloud9's pretty solid. TSM, Sentinels, of course, like they've won tournaments. Like they're literally good teams. I think they have the space to compete in this scene, but it'll take some kinks that they definitely have to work out. But anyway, that's all I got to say on that topic. We're gonna talk about some more TSM Gen G stuff, or not TSM Dig stuff in the future. But if you guys are watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel down below. Come hang out with us on Twitch, where we have all these awesome people who like say things in chat and stuff. And then yeah, freaking love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Okay.